Citizens of the Reject Nation, Greg here, Aaron, John, everyone say hi.
Hi.
We are here to watch Wednesday, Season 2, Episode 3, Episode 4. You can catch our reaction to 1 and 2. We're just binging it right now. Then we're going to have a long discussion afterwards. 1 and 2 separate videos. Reject Nation, this past year, I've been taking my health way more serious. That means physically, mentally, all of it. I've dropped close to 50 pounds this year, changed completely how I eat. And yes, that also includes going to the doctors, which used to be a nightmare. Because you know that moment when you're like, I should see someone about this. And then before you know it, you're Googling, you're like 14 tabs deep, and you're like, who takes my insurance? Who's even available? What do these reviews even mean? Every time I just found the process to be such a headache. Calling around to see if they're available, trying to figure out who takes my insurance, getting stuck on hold for eternity, only to be told the next appointment is months away. It's frustrating, time-consuming, and honestly discouraging. That's why I never went, and that's why I now recommend Zocdoc. Sincerely. Zocdoc is a free website that makes it easy to book in-network appointments with more than 100,000 healthcare providers, typically within just 24 to 72 hours of booking. And you can even score same-day appointments. You can filter for doctors by insurance, location, and specialties. And you can see reviews by verified patients. So you can choose the best, most convenient care for you. So no need to call a doctor's office or wait on hold. Zocdoc lets you do everything online so you can book your appointment and get on with your day. I remember finally seeing a neurologist who actually took the time to listen, explain things clearly, and didn't rush me out the door. I felt heard. It changed how I viewed going to the doctor. And Zocdoc can help you find just that. So if you're like me and felt like you've been taking too long to take care of yourself, you can go to Zocdoc.com/realrejects and actually book that appointment. You deserve to feel good. You deserve answers. And Zocdoc makes that first step way easier. Thanks to Zocdoc for sponsoring this video.
Ooh.
You know, pepper it up.
Gaza's waiting list is 6 months long. How did you get her up to Jericho on this notice?
She has a sore spot for disembodied appendages, and I tripled her usual fee.
I'm so mortified. We forgot Thing's birthday. It's unforgivable.
Mortified Morticia.
So preoccupied with the children and cheering the fundraising calendar.
No. Fred not got a beja. Another hour in the Stasha's death touch.
I hope we get to see Uncle Fester interact.
Yeah, right. We didn't get. Yeah, he's largely separate from them in the last season.
Last night, I had the sudden urge to call Mama and ask her to be.
How very distressing.
She is Nevermore's wealthiest alumni. I will never understand why my dearest Mama has to make every interaction so torturous. Fortunately, I have a very high threshold for pain.
Runs in the fam.
I don't feel like you guys really enjoy the pain as much as you say you do.
I can help you take your mind off your mother.
I know. I feel like you could use just a dash more devilishness.
Yeah, I was gonna say after watching the Addams Family movies, I don't think their chemistry is as strong as the ones from the movies.
Like, I'm rooting for them. I like the casting. And in the comic strips, like, Gomez more closely resembles somebody like Luis Guzman, but
I don't, even before Addams Family, I'd ever fully bought into their chemistry.
yeah, like
But they're having
Angelica
a waltz,
Houston
though.
and Raul Julia are off the charts.
It's nice to see them have a waltz. Kinky.
Wow.
Ooh.
I'm going to slip into something a little bit more uncomfortable.
Make sure it has a lot of spikes and buckles.
That vision shot looked a lot like Wednesday's vision shot.
Nice try.
I underestimated your bat-like hearing.
And my maternal intuition.
Yeah.
Honestly think I would hide Goody's book in there.
You used to hide our Dia de los Muertos presents in here.
Because I wanted you to find those.
Do you remember my favorite bedtime story?
The Salem witch trial transcripts.
They were allowed to make their case to the magistrate. Allow me the same courtesy?
Magistrate Morticia.
In my most recent vision, I learned that I am responsible for Enid's death.
What did you see?
A headstone with Enid's name. It was in the middle of a graveyard filled with crows.
In the ADR booth.
Being led by a one-eyed crow. And Enid appeared and claimed it was all my fault. Galpin was murdered by that same one-eyed crow, and his former partner was also killed by these birds. These aren't random attacks. Someone is behind it all.
A Navy?
Uh-oh. What do you know?
I'm not appealing to you as my mother, but as a fellow psychic.
As a fellow psychic, you understand your visions are unreliable and open to many interpretations.
Our visions were not very much open to interpretation last season.
I had mastered my ability. It showed me exactly what I needed to see.
Like that serial killer in Kansas City.
Oh.
Every artist needs their own signature.
To never give you back that book.
But the only answers I have are in that book.
They're shortcuts that will lead you down a treacherous path.
Your treacherous path is my walk in the park.
Ooh.
You sound just like Ophelia.
Uh-oh.
She was impatient and allowed her ability to drive her to madness.
I'm not your sister.
No, you're my daughter.
Yeah, you bicker like sisters.
Call of the Woe.
Till I can thwart my mother and get Goody's book back. I might have to solve this case the old-fashioned way. Kelvin may have finally left a useful clue. Yet even in death, he refuses to cooperate.
I have nothing to wear. And where's the top to my zebra-striped bikini?
Overnight camping trip. How many outfits could you possibly need?
Well, there's the bus fit, and then the opening campfire, then the late-night swim, and then there's the morning hike, and then the final jamboree, not to mention breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Didn't Davina borrow your swimsuit top?
Oh my God, maybe she did. Thank you, Wednesday.
I don't know if Davina borrowed her bikini top. I just needed the decibel level to go down so I could think.
I want to learn thing language.
That premonition stays between us. She's gone full Sylvia Plath over a bikini top. Who knows how she would react if she knew I had a vision of her death.
Enid's dying?
Oh, Jesus.
This woman.
Freaking Cheshire Cat over here.
How long have you been here?
Since this?
Make it disappear
Oh,
again.
no.
How dare you?
And Enid's not going to die, because I'm going to find the murderer first. Breathe a word.
And you'll find some fiendishly exotic way to kill me. So, what's our next move?
There is no next move. I already have a right hand.
Hey.
Go find somebody else to stalk.
The more you push me away, the more I'll want to please you.
Oh, Christ.
Classic emotional manipulation technique.
Look out.
I'm late for a funeral. And if you're here when I get back, I'll be early for another.
It's literally like Wendy's Wendy and Goth Wendy talking to each other.
Yeah, it's right.
Slurp just came back on his own. Yep. He was sitting in here when I came in this morning.
Slurp.
He looks different. I think he's healing.
Wow.
He's growing back the more lives he takes.
I think he's even starting to regrow a brain in there. Incredible.
Fun.
Ew, gross.
It's the mystery meat. The more he eats, the
Yeah.
more alive he gets.
Uh-huh.
Whoa. Check out this larva.
Ew.
New England corpse moth. Super rare. Only ever found in corpses.
Wow. Cool.
Smart enough to lock himself back up.
Did you hear that? She said his first word. That's right, I am your bruh. He's not trying to call you his bruh. He's trying to say brain.
Haven't you seen Return of the Living Dead?
He's sensitive.
Yeah, it's like Shaun of the Dead.
Eee.
Ew.
This is way too dangerous. We need to tell someone. No, they'll take him away or worse.
Yeah, you can bring him back.
We can't leave him here alone while we're out camping. Don't worry about that. I already got that covered.
Oh, it's okay, little buddy.
May God hold you always. Amen.
2 mourners.
Damn.
That's 2 more than Galpin ever deserved.
The department had to send an official. He was a former sheriff. And I'm here representing Tyler, who rather grimly asked me to make sure his father was really dead.
I'm mixing business with pleasure. Funerals are a hobby.
Funeral crashers.
Did Galpin ever visit Tyler?
You don't really expect me to tell you that. Once. Within seconds, Tyler transformed, almost ripped through those titanium bars. Took a full 5 minutes with a shock collar before he returned to his human form.
Really hates his dad.
Pure, undiluted rage.
Damn.
This killer, I think they're an avian.
The ability to control birds.
Yes.
We have no avian patients at Willow Hill.
But do they have an avian doctor?
Or an avian orderly.
It's more than Galpin ever gave me.
Galpin gave you a lot.
Yeah. Oh, no. Ah,
It's Crovey Dent.
God, it is Kirby Dent.
Welcome to the inn at Apple Hollow. Checking in?
I need the key to room 302. This guest is not to be disturbed, and I was never here.
What if people overhear you siren songing someone?
It's me.
Mama?
Uh-oh.
Mom?
Not for long. Oh.
What became of her?
I told you to keep these closed.
What?
I've been glued to the news. The FBI raided the Morning Song compound this morning.
Jesus.
But Gideon wasn't there.
I'm scared.
The only way you were leaving that cult was in handcuffs or a body bag. I wasn't gonna let that happen.
I know.
It's hard to leave a cult behind.
Gideon found you at your most vulnerable.
We both know the only reason he married me was to help him recruit people so that he could steal their money.
Yeesh.
I got you out. Now you just have to stick to the plan. You got the evidence that Gideon's a fraud, and I sirened those feds into action.
Jeez. God damn. Well, Casper Van Dien!
A lot of casting here that I had no idea about.
When you sent me those stalker text messages, how did you unlock Galpin's phone?
You just pointed a picture of him? Oh.
Her nose is a little bigger.
Transformation.
Yeah, that makes way more sense. That's what it must be.
I'm in.
That's pretty clever.
Yeah.
I grabbed what I could from Galpin's house before the cops did a sweep for our first case together. I wanted to over-deliver.
They're on to me. Let them make it. The evidence is safe at the bullpen.
Bradbury hasn't been a cop for years. He was talking about the bullpen at the sheriff's station. I think we're looking for an address to a house or apartment.
Or a baseball diamond.
All right, this is cooking. This is cooking.
The bullpen. First picture you look at.
Nothing like a good cabin in the woods.
Yes, but how do we get there?
Uh-oh.
Looks like the great outdoors beckons after all.
She literally does no schoolwork.
I know.
I'll get a venti frappuccino, 2 pumps of chocolate, 1 pump of strawberry, and an extra pump of steak sauce, please.
Yes.
Guess you weren't ready to commit to anything.
Hey.
I know you like to change your mind about outfits right up until the last minute.
Yeah, I've been trying to work really hard on my overpacking addiction, but so far I failed miserably.
What's actually going on with you? Why are you being weird towards him?
This definitely feels like there's a Wednesday story, a Morticia story, and everybody else story.
Yeah.
This is the Nevermore show now.
So we're going to need to go over some ground rules with everyone since someone decided to schedule a camping trip during a full moon. Mr. Cheerful!
Or she's the avian, I guess.
I guess that would make sense because she's also a song-related character.
I managed to triangulate the exact coordinates of the cabin. It's a brisk 30-minute hike from our camp.
Jeez.
I took the liberty of plotting multiple routes.
She tried to kill me, remember?
Yes, but she failed, which proves she's only an amateur.
And thus, not a threat.
I deserve that.
Wow.
Yes, mommy.
That's an appropriate song.
Let's go.
There it is.
Summer camp.
Oh, we had a camp.
Long
Addams family values.
Long way from Camp Chippewa.
What's up?
What's with the vampire coffin?
I used it to smuggle signal flares and gasoline. Forest fire?
You mean campfire?
Whatever. As long as something burns.
Smokey the Bear gonna talk to you.
Come on, you're not stupid, Wednesday. You know something's in there. Why are they here?
Of course, yep. Gotta have the whole family on vacation.
Don't you find the smell of fresh air positively nauseating?
Mm-hmm.
What do we owe this ghastly apparition?
The call went out for parent chaperones, and I spent my fair share of time under nature's canopy.
Wow.
Oh, what a fit.
Her idea of communing with nature is dedicating her precious roses in the greenhouse.
I thought we'd make it a family affair.
Lurch, can you give me a hand with this?
Yeah.
We need more Fred Armisen.
Yeah, man. I really do wonder how they're gonna incorporate him.
Maybe you two could work it out.
Makes more sense to do 1 of 8 when you've got 8 altogether.
Well, that's a great looking location. Damn, the waterfall. It's beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, I want it. I want
a
it.
tent version of their house. That's so fun.
Thanks for setting up the tent. Out here, the world's my terrarium.
Truth.
What's with the bottle rockets? Early warning system? For what?
This kid hasn't had a single scene with Wednesday yet.
Nope. Except for those preliminary moments.
What's Soap doing here? We couldn't leave him on his own, so you brought him camping in the woods
That's a
with
great
all our
idea.
classmates.
A very loud zombie.
I'll bunk with some of the other guys. I'm not sleeping with a zombie.
Zombies
don't sleep. Duh.
He's gonna keep what?
I'm also surprised neither of them have told Wednesday. More specifically him.
Your mother packed some homemade trail mix, extra earthworms, bugs, dirt, toenails, everything you'll find on the trail.
Just my stomach. Good timing with the snacks.
Are you going to invite me in so I can inspect your tent?
No. Eugene, just let one rip. Yeah, it smells like someone died in there.
You good wingman, Eugene.
So if you get in trouble, first rule of camping, leave no trace, especially the bodies.
The next 2 days, Camp Jericho is now known as Camp Outcast.
Outcast will be performing.
Camp Outcast, there are no cell phones and no normies for miles.
Are you a normie? Was that fire thing a trick?
Incorrect.
Oh, God.
I beg to differ with your last point.
Was that friggin' Anthony Michael Hall?
Damn, if you got that right again, John, you were the quickest man in the West.
Phoenix Cadet Master. I reserved this campground 6 months ago.
I think you are right.
Damn.
For my annual Camp Claw. Cadets, what does Claw mean?
It's like Diary of a Wimpy Kid 3.
Camping, learning, adventure, wilderness. We have a signed contract. Well, I also have a contract signed by the camp's owner. Old Jack. He retired to Orlando. His son's run the business now. Must have double booked.
Oh, God.
I have been preparing these boys for the last 364 days for my ultimate wilderness challenge. That is happening this weekend. Cadets, help them pack and load.
Jeez.
It's in 1,600 hours. Sir, yes, sir.
If you and your dead-eyed drones want this campground so badly, then fight us for it.
Oh, yeah.
I like the sound of that.
Wow.
Unless you and your boys are not up for the challenge. Okay, pigtails. In an unexpected change to our schedule, I am announcing Cadets versus Outcast Color War.
I don't like the sound of that.
Each side will have their own Team Zephyr, designed by our Da Vinci students. The teams will comprise of up to 10 members.
Oh, boy.
They will be divided into defenders and attackers.
I guess we needed to have a game, sure.
The attackers are allowed to recapture the Zephyr by any means necessary.
Any means.
Capture the flag, okay.
Team has reclaimed their Zephyr. They will fire a flare. And it's a race to the finish. Back here, the first team to place their Zephyr on the tripod at the top wins.
Gotcha.
Bruno and I went in.
So do I. I'm sorry. This is a Nightshades only team?
Hey.
Come on, man.
Sure. Go ahead. So what's the plan?
I feel like Bruno is lacking in personality.
I only traded my bed for a tent to find Galvin's cabin. A troop of testosterone-fueled jarheads is not compromising that mission.
You're gonna form a perimeter. Don't let those freaks get through.
Sir, yes, sir!
It feels so random.
It was a hard cut into this camp subplot.
Bailey, you'll lead our strike squad. Victory is the only acceptable outcome.
Sir, yes, sir!
Evil dies tonight. Fun.
Like, I know we had a game in the last season, but that game, like, felt incorporated into how we needed to get the plot to go. this just seems like some random game.
This is definitely a side quest.
Yeah. Well, let's see if it ends up being just fun anyway.
Yes, sir.
And last season, they were at odds and competing, and now they're working together.
Growth, baby.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy.
Aim for the Gorgon's beanie.
Damn, okay. So they know. They know what's up. Bro.
How about don't turn to him and tell him to close your eyes?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, God.
That's on you, man. You shouldn't have turned to him.
Green flare. The cadets got their Zephyr.
Oh, Lurch. For a second, I thought they were going to do the Naruto run.
You think they'd set a rule for them not to be able to use their powers?
Hey, any means necessary.
Oh, God. They have the clear advantage.
Tear gas. Jesus Christ.
They got weapons.
Signal air support.
Flight of the Valkyries.
It would be hard to defeat this.
Capture the Zephyr.
I would just send the invisible girl in every time.
True that.
But
Big asset to the team.
She can't fight through tear gas.
I would say keep the helmet, the mask on, my guy.
It takes more than chemical warfare to bring tears to my eyes.
Oof.
Queen.
Purple flare. Wednesday got the Zephyr.
But Wednesday's so far behind.
I got
Get in the game.
brainwave.
Get in the game. Push this guy.
Blow up the tower.
What's the plan?
What would you possibly do? Oh, damn.
Lol.
She does have a talent for well-conceived items that you'd never expect.
She is a little bit of a MacGyver. Scowl.
Yeah, the stoic face. Still not blinking.
Very
With all that wind
funny.
resistance.
Nah, bro, don't celebrate. Just do it. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. Whoa. You can never hope to win now.
And that's why they worship you, Wednesday.
Yeah.
Yes, Queen.
That's why they love you. That's why you have all the fans.
I just wanted to say thank you for standing up to those normies. For someone who professes to be antisocial, you accomplished in one afternoon what 1,000 trust exercises never could. So thank you.
Now back to the plot.
Tonight, we recapture Camp Jericho. Sir, yes, sir.
Oh my god. Uh-oh.
Oh, little coffin's adorable.
Don't go around tonight. Well, it's bad moon on the rise.
Cool.
I hear hurricanes are blowing.
Oh, he's campfire guitar guy. You'll never beat that.
Yeah.
Wins every time.
Rivers overflowing.
John Wick.
There's something that's just not working for me right now. I can't quite put my finger on it.
Oh.
Every mirror has a dark side.
And a backside.
Patricia Red Car.
Widow Hill Psychiatric Hospital. Are they all patients of the same person?
Julian Mayojas. These are all outcast obituaries. Some died more than 15 years ago. All Willow Hill patients.
Which one's an avian?
Lois.
Yep.
If she's the one targeting outcasts, Enid could be her next victim.
Lois.
They're all linked to one.
You'll get your powers back in part 2.
Goody's book is the only way to get my ability back. I've asked nicely. It's time to try something more pointed.
But what will it take from you if you get that ability?
Is it a G?
Seems like a very poignant song for the moment. Up. Billie Piper looked worried after that.
I did reach out to my mother.
Now, I know that she hasn't been an active donor for many years now. Were you able to convince her to reconsider?
She didn't take my call.
Perhaps we could invite her to campus. Face-to-face is always better.
She'll show up in due time.
Set aside your differences and extend an olive branch.
Mama would only accept hemlock.
Of course.
How long have we been broken up? I know that Gorgons can be kind of slow, but I guess I just didn't want to believe it.
It takes a lot of extra brain power to run all those snakes.
I should have told you when school started that my feelings had changed.
Was it something that I did?
And I think they had more better chemistry, too.
No. Over the summer, I realized I wasn't that insecure girl who thought she would never fit in.
But I like that girl.
Oh.
She wolfed out and found herself.
I'm a plastic now.
So when she finds her confidence, just like him.
I wish we could have just talked about it before you moved on without me.
I'm really sorry.
Moved on now?
Didn't expect things with Bruno to heat up so fast.
You remember that day in Uriah's heap?
That's right. Coffee house.
I guess squirrels and rats can't work out after all.
You still want to be a nightshade after all this?
Oh, Enid. What are we going to do?
Yeah, there's something that's feeling like disjointed and unfocused lately.
I feel bad for that Gorkin. Let's move out.
Oh, no, they're going to go recruit him.
Yeah, not really digging that. I only liked you because I didn't like myself.
Your theft of Goody's book. I'm giving you one last chance to return it to me.
You know I won't do that.
Then you leave me no choice.
They'll have to fight.
I'm challenging you to a duelo a ciegas.
Oh, a duel of some kind.
A blind duel?
You want to cross blades in a blind duel. I feel your grandmama's bony fingerprints all over this, Gambit. I know you two have been talking.
It's Gambit.
We duel tonight, under the full moon. Do you accept my challenge?
I feel like a lot could go wrong if you duel under a full moon.
Oh, interesting. Wednesday has a relationship with the grandma, but she doesn't.
Wednesday and I are going to sword fight in the woods and settle our differences.
Music to my ears. I'm going to shower in one of the rustic stalls. Have fun.
All right.
Get that rustic stall action.
Yeah, you enjoy that.
We don't think this is such a good idea. They did win, fair and square.
Exactly.
Who the hell told you to think? That's how you get killed. Go, go, go.
Oh, boy.
You boys are with me.
Oh, no.
Seeing that tank has become zombie food. Get ready.
Oh, Shazbot.
Oh, shit.
Oh, they prepared. They knew. Oh, yep. There it is. Oh,
That's
wow.
funny. Wow.
And that's how we landed with this plot.
Yes.
That's my boy.
Thing will be our witness. Figured it's best to keep it within the family.
On that we agree.
Whoever pierces the other's glass heart first wins. If I win, you return Goody's book.
And if I win, I will burn it.
Whoa, that's not a fair one. Going back to her Zorro roots.
Hey, good call.
I knew we should have told someone.
Harboring a murderous zombie will get both your butts expelled for sure.
What are you doing here?
Proving myself to your sister by handling her low priority tasks.
We need to find Slurp. I'm out of the zombie business. Slurp never tried to eat my brain.
Because that would be empty calories.
The last time I was alone with the monster in the woods, I ended up in a coma. Stop bragging.
Come on, do a oneer.
I can practically hear you creak.
In Addams family, it's usually Gomez who's doing the fighting.
Yeah, because it's woke. It's the woke Addams family.
Oh. Still bringing a knife to a sword fight.
It's an interesting shot.
Yeah, I was thinking the same. I was like,
is it speed ramped or something?
Yeah, I just like leaned into it.
You taught me everything I know.
But I didn't teach you everything I know.
Hey.
Nice flip.
Oh, sick.
Cool.
Whoa. Whoa.
He's supposed to morph into like a brilliant mind at some point, right? I just feel like there's like a missing tension to this. I know I'm sounding really cynical right now.
It does feel like a bunch of stuff.
But even when they see that Anthony Michael Hall's dead, there's just like there's something that feels like a little halfway apathetic about it.
I get what you mean. It's like the irony isn't quite singing.
Yeah, the quirkiness kind of undermines it.
Patience. Corazón al día.
But I guess it feels more Addams family.
Body frisky.
Ew.
That tongue is absurdly long. Oh my god.
Oh, you are a tigress tonight. Let me get some.
Here's Johnny.
No.
Jesus.
Okay, we're gonna get Gomez involved in a storyline now.
Maybe this will pick up.
Let me through. What happened?
I'm rooting for it.
Wow.
All right, here we go. Okay.
Most of you guys have powers. We can stop it.
Say you can levitate this guy. You can burn this guy up. Turn him into stone.
So slow.
It's a full moon. Oh, wow.
Oh, shit.
Damn.
If you're nothing without the book, you don't deserve to read it.
Woo. But were there brains there? There weren't brains there.
Teenage zombies, sanctimonious scoutmasters. ... Camping is even more savage than I imagined. Turns out nature doesn't bring us together.
Hannibal Lecter, the valiant.
It devours the weak, leaving the strong to stumble on.
Oh, I hope they become their whole own plotline for seasons to come.
Defeated by my mother, robbed of Goody's book.
I think this was the exact song that played in last season's number 3 episode or 4.
I'm exposed to a predator that's always watching.
Oh.
Hiding in plain sight, waiting for the right time to strike.
A gash you sustained on a piece of glass this very evening. Yeah.
Why was Galpin keeping track of deceased outcasts?
I think I thought I saw.
And how was she tied to Enid's impending death?
I imagine Lois is Thandiwe Newton.
2 roads diverge in the woods.
Thandiwe Newton or Billie Piper, one of the two.
I must take the road less traveled.
Yeah, 2 big actors who've kind of been barely used.
And that road
Well, and they're conspicuously
leads to Willow Hill.
Unexplained.
The transfers here at them in 3989. I want extra security on this one. I'm authorizing 24-hour surveillance monitoring. We can take absolutely no chances.
You got this, Heather Matarazzo.
There she is.
Oh.
Hey!
Okay. Fun. Let's do this.
I thought she'd be the episode 4 tease.
I mean, lead into episode 4, still not bad.
Yeah, get a lot more of her next episode.
You still get a point.
I've read your book, Unlocking the Outcast Mind. It came in very handy when I was grooming Tyler.
Grooming?
I thought keeping you two apart would diminish your emotional hold over him.
But it hasn't. And now you want me to tell you how to unlock my little monster. Willow Hill performed secret experiments on the outcasts.
Oh, good.
Now, are you willing to help me or not?
Only if you'll agree to have me transferred here permanently as a patient and not a prisoner.
Oh, God.
Well, I'm sorry we couldn't make this work. I'll have to find a more invasive method.
Oh, yeah, let's go.
Arrange her transfer back to Northern State Correctional. And please note that I recommend the prisoner be placed in solitary confinement until her trial.
Lobotomize him.
I'm willing to help. All I ask is that you let me see Tyler face to face.
Not the fake cry.
God, he's even got the V.
He knew he was going to be shirtless this season.
Yeah, he really prepped. I did almost no character research, but I did eat 100 chickens a day.
Mama's here. Look at what they've done to you.
Yeah, this isn't going to go the way you want it to.
Oh, no, baby.
Oh.
I missed you, too.
I've been dreaming about this moment.
So he can kill you.
Yeah, damn.
Oh, wow.
Don't hit the shot collar. It'll kill her.
Or that will kill her.
I know you're upset. It's just calming down. I promise I'll get you out of here.
Yeah, ouch. No, mommy.
Now you should shock him.
You're even more beautiful than I last saw you.
Tim Burton directed this one, first and last. So far, the first episode's been my favorite.
Yeah.
Nothing stirs the senses like a funerary urn.
Oh, shit.
Oh. People who deserve to be buried in this dump are the maintenance staff.
Wow.
Grandmama.
She looks like Bride of Frankenstein. And she smiled, just like when she smiled at Fester.
You practically dared me to show up.
I knew you'd be working weekends.
Huh?
Why are you interested in this Patricia Redcar?
She's a part of my ongoing investigation.
God, what is her name?
I found all of these obituaries.
We rely on you to know that,
All
John.
patients
I know,
at Willow
I
Hill.
should.
They're all cremated and buried here.
What does this have to do with you?
She's the Uncle Fester of the season.
I saw a vision of my roommate's death.
Please give her my card. I offer a friends and family discount on all funerals and caskets.
No, if I had my psychic ability back, I would have solved this already. And my mom's going to burn Goody's book.
No crying over spilled ashes. That's odd. Here, just like I taught you.
She's like a veteran, yeah.
Over tons of deer,
Was she one of the ants in James and the Giant Peach?
squirrel and raccoon, and a subtle finish of Shih Tzu.
What's missing?
Human.
Human.
Back at it.
Damn you, Crovey Dent.
I don't think you can keep up with that bird Wednesday.
Follow that bird. It's amazing how those cloaks stay up when the wind's in your face.
A good run to the tombstones always makes you feel alive. Was that crow luring you into a murderous trap?
Oh my God, her own lurch.
The avian that controls them just stole all my evidence. I've rattled their bird cage.
What's next?
I need you to buy this cemetery and find out who authorized those cremations.
Why would I do something so rash?
Because once you tell my mother that you're finally getting me into the family business, all of her childhood insecurities will come bubbling to the surface. Usually an obituary is the end of the story, not the beginning of an even stranger one.
Unless you're Benjamin Button.
Is the Raven the one taking photos?
Okay. Changing my prediction. Obviously, the stalker is not her.
Yeah.
The aunt's the Raven person. You said you're an aunt like your Raven. First
The
episode.
sooner I get answers, the sooner I
A
can
Raven
save
like your
Enid,
aunt. Oh my God.
who I currently want to murder.
Didn't you see the scrunchie on the door? That's kind of universal roomie code for do not disturb.
What?
You know I'm not above using a nail gun.
Yeah. Show yourself.
How long have you been here?
Somewhere between and definitely scarred. Like picking up your mail. Got a letter from your publisher.
We all love Viper, da-da-da-da-da. You're incredibly difficult to work with, blah, blah, blah. Adamant refusal to engage in the editing and rewriting process, da-da-da-da-da. Regrettably, I must drop you as a writer. Please seek help.
Please seek help.
I'm sorry.
I'd rather no one read my novel than make a compromise. Now that
real
this
one.
avian is aware of our investigation, we don't have much time. All of our answers are in the Willow Hill Asylum.
You're up, kid.
And I know just the lunatic to get them for me.
I feel like Wednesday could easily self-publish a novel.
Hello?
There he is.
Hey! Festa!
For my favorite niece, I'm always a lurk away.
I need you to get into Willow Hill.
Well, the last time I did that was for your mother. She wanted me to check on her sister.
Oh.
When?
Years ago, but she'd already flown the coop by the time I got committed. I stuck around for a few weeks. They had a top-notch electroshock therapist, Igor.
Igor.
He really knew how to rattle the old cerebral cortex. Nobody sneaks up on me, kid.
Nobody sneaks up on me, kid.
I turned her into an unpaid expendable gopher.
I'm a big fan of child labor.
The liberty of getting you the Willow Hill blueprints.
I think you should keep your hair that way.
I think Tim Burton should direct all these episodes.
Just make sure that the head shrink, Dr. Fairburn, can't trace you back to me.
If there's an expert on getting committed to a loony bin, it's me. I'd like a suite, the biggest you've got. One night only.
Welcome to the inn at Apple Hollow, Mr. Diabolic.
Mr. Diabolic.
I'd rather pay in cash. Don't worry, that washes off.
That's funny. Harkening back to when Wednesday was the driver of the bank they robbed.
Yeah, is this the sheriff's office? I need to report a guest.
Jeez.
This is our perp. Desk clerk said he paid with stolen money and could be dangerous.
Oh, no.
This room's supposed to be empty.
Oh, shoot.
Shit.
Oh, Christ.
Jericho police, open the door!
Doing that
Oh my
steady
God.
cam shot.
It's unusual for Tim Burton.
Police, come on with your hands up!
That's really creepy.
18 passports and 33
Is that a
driver's
tribute to
licenses.
Addams Family
Oh my
values?
God.
Bank robber who eluded arrest last year.
Yep, they put it together.
At least they got my good side.
How are you keeping all these cacti alive in this dingy office?
Oh, my.
Yes, my man.
Call Dr. Fairburn. Tell her we're going to need a full psych evaluation on this one.
He's not our only mystery. Apparently, she's been squatting in that hotel room for a month. They have no record of her checking in, and she's no ID.
I would love to be a siren.
Think of all the mind crimes you could do.
You will contribute $1,000 to our Patreon.
You will pledge in perpetuity.
I'm not sure why I was punished. These two morons are the ones who hid the brain-eating zombie.
Kindly agree to supervise. We need these invitations out pronto. Bianca will...
This episode's reeling me back in kind of by a lot, not gonna lie, guys.
Actually, have a personal matter I need to attend to.
These invitations are your only priority.
I know, but you don't understand.
I have to tell the board that we missed our first fundraising goal because we haven't landed our top donor yet. That's what you do when you're a leader. You take the heat for other people's screw-ups.
Yeah, Aaron and John.
Oh, it's all my fault.
If you're here to plead your case again.
I don't grovel, like Grandmama said. There's no crying over spilt ashes. Aunt Ophelia was sent to Willow Hill. Why?
Ask your grandmama. It was her decision.
You accuse me of keeping secrets, but you're no better. Maybe that's where I get it from.
It's interesting to turn like the Addams family directly into a inner family soap opera drama.
Yeah.
In her sophomore year, Ophelia was found screaming in the quad, black tears running down her cheeks. She had pushed her psychic ability too far.
Oh no.
That's when she was sent away. But unlike you, I did grovel. I pleaded with Grandmama that Ophelia would only get worse in Willow Hill, that her problems weren't mental, they were psychic.
Ooh, psychic eye.
Grandmama was always better at burying things than fixing them.
Old memories are like old corpses.
Oh.
Dun dun dun.
They never quite seem the same when you dig them up.
Sure.
Varicus told me you rang, and I wanted to give Wednesday the deed to the cemetery I bought her.
Varicose.
Just a little starter property, give her a taste of the family business. A woman should have a portfolio of her own.
There's a smile.
Back to that smile.
You do spoil her. Grandmama and I need to speak.
She had like a twitch in her smile.
Augustus Stonehurst. That's who signed those death certificates.
Stonehurst. That is kind of a missing element for me.
What?
The like devilish side of Wednesday, the part of her that enjoys stuff, some stuff.
If she gets into a little trouble, it's a mother's job to stand back, let her figure it out for herself, thrive or die.
Says the woman whose youngest daughter has been missing for 20 years.
What happened to your sister was a tragedy. She would never have listened.
Unlike me, who took every one of your withering words to heart.
Is that your sales pitch to get me to donate to the Nevermore Gala? I heard they put you in charge. No doubt they're hoping you can convince me to chisel open my casket of riches.
I'm raising funds, not the dead. And besides, we both know you'd rather be buried with your million.
Has she interacted with Thandiwe Newton yet?
I am willing to make a
I don't think
donation.
so. No, no, no.
Thandiwe Newton might be the sister.
There is one condition.
But she's black.
Give Wednesday back her book.
Of course.
There is one person I think I heard was cast in the show that has not shown up yet, and I'm thinking that person might be the sister.
Well, don't you tell me.
I will not say.
My family's not negotiable.
Dude. Oh.
Wow.
Damn.
Wow, there's a lot of...
That's family, though.
That's consequential, man.
Yeah, that's a family tome right there.
It's my mom. She's in trouble, and I've got to get her out of it before she permanently ruins her life. But I can't siren or laugh. His head's in a jar, so it blocks my sound.
Can you take a look at these? Make sure I got the seals right. You know, I don't usually do snail mail. Whoa!
Oh, smart.
That bought us a couple hours.
This is my problem.
That's nightshades forever, right?
Aww.
Stay here. Finish the rest of the invitations.
Ugh.
We have Fumagalli, Esther Dubois,
No, can't be the sister.
and my
He'd
personal
recognize her.
favorite, Festa Fiesta.
Festa Fiesta!
Oh, God.
What is your real name?
It's just Fester, like an open wound.
It means to rot.
My parents abandoned me when I was 10. They said it was summer camp, but they never came back.
Tell me what you see, Fester.
Death. Death. An ice cream cone. Wait, turn it that way. Still death.
You never forget the cold embrace of your first straitjacket.
I suppose
Is that
not.
an amenity you offer here?
It's wild how different of a vibe Christopher Lloyd and him have for the same character.
Well, they're two entirely different portrayals.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Took me a sec.
First and fourth episode, best one so far. What are you drawing, man?
I want to paint. It's like a Gacy drawing.
Interesting interpretation.
Some people wrestle with darkness, not me. I love shadows. That's why I do my best stalking.
Oh, God.
That is pretty good for that.
You seen anybody named Lois around here?
Oh, geez.
I ain't seen nothing. No, 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 no. Well, what letter is covered? Louise.
Louise.
Let's go.
Let's go. Hookity up.
Into the pantry.
Lois? Oh, your name's Louise.
Okay. Yeah, they do engage in the carnal pleasures in this universe.
Get the Festra spinoff. Just brings so much life into this show.
Augustus Stonehurst used to be the normie head doctor at Willow Hill, but before that, he taught science at Nevermore.
It's always over that wolf.
Where is the good doctor these days? In Willow Hill. He had a psychotic break.
Confined to his own asylum. That's a plot twist worthy of Poe. Seems like you prefer hanging out with that pint-sized psycho. Seems like you're a little preoccupied.
You can't blame this whole thing on Bruno and the pack. I can also help on non-case related issues too. Hello, been there.
It's just like the Raven's usually on the wolf.
Enid, get inside now.
Oh, it's attacking.
I'm not gonna let you keep pulling yourself away like this. Enid.
Oh, Christ. Oh, Christ. It's the birds. It's the birds.
Wolf out, guys.
They fly on all sides.
Woo!
Flame on!
Where do those birds come from?
No!
Dang!
Oh, Thing's my favorite character.
Yeah. MVP
good,
of the
good
show.
Shot.
Catch that thing.
No, Thing. Thing, no.
Oh, okay. He's okay.
Catch him. Oh, he's shaking.
Oh!
Thing!
Wolf out. Oh,
nice.
What's it?
wow, you caught up.
Nice.
You caught up super quick.
Oh.
Dang it.
Why would Ophelia be trying to kill her own niece?
I appreciate the heads up.
Boy.
It's definitely not her.
This is a surprise.
I think you dropped this.
That's too likely.
What brings you to Nevermore, Dr. Fairburn?
Miss Capri generously
Too
offered
obvious.
to teach a music therapy class at Willow Hill. Music soothes the savage beast.
I'll take weapons over bomb.
I don't know.
Oh my God, they're gonna do a Joker too.
Billie Piper at the campfire, she looked genuinely, there was a moment where she looked away, looking really scared about something.
Homicidal Hyde. No time for tea. Judy keeps me on a tight leash.
I clocked the look at the campfire.
I have a board meeting. I'll see you tomorrow night.
Yeah.
Judy.
You seem out of breath.
It's been a long day.
I was going to say, yeah, Thandiwe was not out of breath at all.
I assume you're here to drop out of the gala
All these
orchestra.
birds,
I've decided to stick around. Every Mozart needs their Salieri.
Hey. Oh.
What were you doing in that hotel room? There's no record of you checking in, and you've no ID. We can't help you unless you start talking to us.
Mom,
I plead the fifth.
you're her daughter? Could I have a word with you both?
She said, Mom.
You will drop this investigation, shred any paperwork, and forget you ever met my mother.
That's so cool. I would love that ability.
God, she has been using it a ton this season.
You will work more hours without pay.
I hear your Uncle Fester's in Willow Hill.
He's helping me find the truth.
You need to stop Wednesday, or you're going to make everything worse.
You need to speak up more.
Thing!
I mean, I feel like Lois is Thandiwe Newton, right?
Find Stonehurst, and you'll find Lois.
I'm looking for a schlub named Stonehurst. He won amnesiac bingo yesterday. Forgot to pick up his prize.
Old Gus prefers a different type of company. He doesn't say much.
What happened to him?
He searched me for my time.
Oh.
Fairburn has us bring him out here a few times a week.
Birds. Avian.
She's almost old as he is, and she's got a potty mouth for her, too. So, watch out.
Nah, you're going to be fine.
Do me a solid and rolling back to his room in 10. He's in 103.
That's almost 13.
I'm looking for Lois. Name ring a bell, old timer?
Oh, she's a good girl. She never tells.
You know Lois?
Shut your pie hole.
Excuse me?
Eat shit, Baldy.
Whoa.
How do I find Lois? 51971.
The Stonehurst guys are that guy, too. He's in, like, Tim Burton stuff.
Do you remember an Augustus Stonehurst? I understand he was a science teacher here.
He was an army, and I never trusted him.
Did he ever mention anybody named Lois?
His wife died before he got to Nevermore.
Okay.
But he had a little girl. I don't remember her name. He built her an aviary up in Iago Tower.
Oh, boy. Iago Tower.
Relax. I've never been more confident about it. I have it under control.
Oh, come on.
Hold on. Ajax.
Oh, cool.
Pretty good effect, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even the light behind the fire is through his hands.
Watch him be a normie who just took a magic class or something.
Fester, get a move on. Lights out in 20. I'll be by check on Gus.
Oh.
I always love a woman in chains.
I got a whole genre of movies for you, my guy.
Lois. Lois.
Oh. Put that code in, Festa.
Sweet dreams, pal.
This is the most I've been feeling like hooked into the mystery and the tension. 1 and 4, undoubtedly the best ones.
I am open to a deal. I have information I know you will want to hear.
I very much doubt that.
Fester Addams. Are you aware that he's a patient here?
Oh.
And he's probably working with his niece, Wednesday.
Snitching.
She's got her pigtails in your business. Trouble isn't far behind.
I feel like she would have eventually noticed this, right?
Well, she didn't with all those IDs.
Fester Addams. That's gonna tickle.
Welcome back.
Yeah,
I thought you'd been more comfortable in here.
Even gave you a cellmate.
Oh, snap.
There we go. He's almost fixed, though. If you can feed him just a little more, maybe you can get out.
You need to go back to Willow Hill. Keep an eye on Fester until I can figure out a way to break him out.
Thing must spend so much time traveling.
Capri has a music therapy class tonight at Willow Hill. She's her way in and out. Her class lasts 45 minutes.
A heist.
We were moving at like a Christopher Nolan pace with this editing.
Thing is already connected with Fester's contact on the inside.
Ramping up.
She knows where he's being held.
I want to see Christopher Nolan's Addams Family.
What's my part of the plan?
Stay here. Make out with Bruno.
Do you even want to be my friend anymore?
Oh my God, Enid.
That has never been in question.
I mean, I get why she would question it.
You're on lookout.
Okay.
You see, if I get caught, I need someone to anonymously tip off Sheriff Santiago that something is going down at Willow Hill.
Their friendship was such a heart of the last season, and I feel like they don't know what to do with her this season.
She's pushing her away because she cares about her.
It's just conflict.
Yeah.
Oh, she just got into the trunk like that? Yeah. Detective?
It's scenes like that previous one that make me think Wes Anderson could actually make a great Addams Family thing.
Oh, yeah. That'd be fun.
I don't know why this stretch of Wednesday has been making me think that a bunch.
I'm really enjoying, though, this episode a lot. The pacing and editing is really, like, the way they've been ramping up. It's also unusual for Tim Burton.
Yeah.
This, like, big lapse in time. Maybe shouldn't open the door so widely.
Isadora Capri, I'm here to teach a music class.
Hey, Dwayne, I need a vehicle check.
My stomach's gone all Cirque du Soleil.
Very funny.
Oh, God. Then she goes in that bathroom right after? Oh.
Poor Wendy. She's Wendy to me until I learn her name.
Oh, dang.
Those goddamn burritos.
Literally blew up the bathroom.
What the hell did you do in there?
Sorry, I'm gonna be late.
It's okay.
A well-timed distraction, baby.
I feel like when my trunk opens, I always notice.
Yeah. It shakes your whole car. There's a boom when they close it. You got to close it with some force, otherwise it won't latch, and then you'll get a light on. Dude, Louise, killing the game.
Music can heal the wounds medicine can't touch.
Ain't that the truth? This is her as the new doctor.
Doctor.
There's Lady Gaga in this room.
What's on the menu tonight?
Oh, nothing edible.
Hey.
Tell Fester I'll be waiting for him.
Yeah, look at that. Doesn't even flinch.
Dang.
God, you got a human mouth almost.
Man, you're almost back, buddy.
Uh-oh.
He's always breaking out of them chains. Time to play. Is she just really good at pantomiming, or can she play piano?
Dr. Fairburn, she is making a huge mistake.
No mistake.
Oh! It's okay. All you need is one or two more.
Oh!
Let's go.
Oh, the great moment. That was so cool.
Let's go.
Every scene that they've done, like music and cutting around to every episode's been really solid.
The zombie is on the loose.
I'm authorizing a Code 4 security protocol. Take this thing down by any means necessary. Everybody, stay calm.
God, what was I just watching that dude in?
This is exciting.
Put that code in, Vesta.
51971.
How'd you know the code?
Trash talking parrot.
Seems like one of the less absurd things you could have said.
This place is full of surprises.
She is below us, or behind us.
You should close that maintenance door so no one follows you in here.
No, it's like a video game. It doesn't matter once you've opened the door.
I was just about to say LOS was an acronym and not a person. I was literally seconds away from saying that.
Study. LOS isn't a person. It's a secret program.
It's conversion therapy.
Whoa.
Wolf.
Oh, cinematic universe.
Yeah.
This is where the secret...
It's cabin in the woods.
This is where the Winter Soldiers are. Ooh,
creepy.
Mantis.
Yeah.
That's Patricia Redcar.
Oh, all of them are here.
Oh, Jesus.
Crazy. It's a little doll.
And that's Julian Miojas. Recognize them from their obituaries.
Oh, this is good.
Their deaths must have been fake so they could be kept as living experiments.
Freaky.
This is what Galpin was afraid would happen to Tyler.
Hello there.
Oh, God.
It's like a haunted house.
That's not how you ask for help. Ophelia?
Are you here to kill me?
Oh, she's the girl in the oh, God
Leave me
damn.
alone.
What's her name? Shit, it's really gonna bug me. Like American Horror Story and stuff.
So you are the new face of Mad Doctors. You do realize that Fairburn doesn't roll off the tongue as nicely as Frankenstein.
Hey.
Oh!
I should have said it!
Fairburn works for me. I recruited her to be the public face of this institution and continue my father's work.
I was going to joke that earlier. Damn it.
You're Augustus Stonehurst's daughter. That's how you knew about the secret passages at Nevermore. You must have used them to visit your aviary in Iago Tower.
Surprised they revealed this in episode 4.
Imagine being able to extract their abilities and share it with normies.
You mean steal them and exploit them?
Yeesh.
Born a normie, and thanks to my father's work, my beautiful black-winged friends obey my every whim.
Ah.
My father and I were a team. He needed a subject.
Right.
I wanted to be part of his legacy.
Until he lost his mind?
He wanted to be a Da Vinci, but his body couldn't take it.
This is a fun role for her.
Well, if you can't bring Icarus to the sun, bring the sun to Icarus.
Oh no. Oh no.
Oh, wowie. That's good.
Great.
Hell yeah.
We need to call in Sheriff Santiago.
Yes, I love this trope.
Yeah, baby.
Consume.
Oh, yeah.
As much as I want to watch them pluck her feathers, we gotta vamoose.
But one person didn't leave.
You go. I owe you one, Uncle Fester.
We just liberated our first asylum. I live for days like this.
I'm gonna get you out of here.
What kind of angel are you?
An avenging one.
Nah.
Oh, no, buddy.
Dang. Maybe the zombie can eat them. Oh,
yeah,
there he
he's
is.
coming back.
Everyone knows you shoot a zombie in the cranium.
Aim for the head.
If you know the concept of a zombie, you know you shoot the zombie in the head.
If you kill the brain, you kill the ghoul.
She's getting her baby out.
Oh, yeah, we need you to Hulk out now.
I told you Mama would get you out of here.
Oh, my.
I could never abandon you.
Don't kill her.
Wish I could say the same. Reason had been locked away in here.
Oh, no.
You're not my mother. You're my bastard. Or should I say?
Ugh.
We both know that she's the real enemy. She's here in the building. Destiny has given us a second chance to take her out.
Wow.
I'm the only one who's ever loved you. I unlocked your true potential.
Oh, man. Keep on grooming him.
So I'll give you a 5-second head start.
1, 2, 3.
Run.
1, 2.
Must always be cool getting to be the actor who says run dramatically into camera. Wowie.
You should have hid in a room.
Come on, take a left. Wowie. Oh, well, that's a death.
That sucks.
Please, don't. Mommy loves you.
Oh, my God.
Aww.
R.I.P.
I was hoping she'd still stay around.
Yeah, same.
Of all the women I've ever used, you're my favorite.
Oh, my God.
So straight for the tongue.
The most romantic thing anyone's ever said to me.
Arthur Fleck.
Just do like a 5-minute sequence of Fester dancing alone.
We'll be safe in here.
You don't own a cellular phone?
Better.
Show yourself.
Show yourself. Show yourself. Oh, dang. Oh, my God.
Why?
Wow, this is a crazy episode 4. He knows him.
Oh, my God. Oh, my. Ugh.
Oof.
Oh, poor guy.
Wow, so many people are being killed. This isn't pretty nuts. I thought there'd be like way more people living.
Go.
Oh, maybe she's not the actress I was thinking of, actually.
Game of chicken.
And then Wednesday's not around. Whoa.
Okay, you just threw her out the window.
Ow.
Damn.
Ow.
Damn.
Oh,
Oh, man.
That's
No
enough
bounce.
to kill a woman.
Damn.
Oh, it's going to be a massacre.
Oh, get in there, thing. Whoa.
Yeah, she is messed up.
Yeah.
I've always dreamed of looking death in the face, but in my final moments, all I hear is my mother's words ringing in my ears. Maybe I have made everything worse.
Never.
Much worse.
No.
Oh, man. Oh.
Fun. All right, cool. All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, first off, Prepper, thanks for editing down these highlights. You guys have been crushing it. We've been giving you a lot to work with lately between podcasts, reviews, reactions, and you guys have been very consistent and been putting it through the ringer. Thank you so much. Of course, leave a like on this video. Be sure to subscribe and click that bell. We will be the next season releases on my birthday. Can't wait to do that. Can't wait to binge that. It's gonna be fun. All righty. Well, that was a journey. Little mixed bag for me in between, but I thought 1 and 4 were pretty rock. 1 was good. I thought 4 was pretty great, and but I have a lot of different opinions to zigzag around here. But let's try to keep this a little bit focused. We got a little bit of time here, but I want to make sure we give a qualitative talk. John, let's kick off with you, man. What would you say your favorite of the 4 were right off the bat?
I would probably agree with you that the first and the fourth are the strongest, and I mean, 4's got Fester, so
Yeah.
I feel like it goes there for me, and it is more momentous, and you're doing less setting up of stuff and establishing what's happened over the summer and all that. So I think episode 4 certainly, I wasn't sure what to expect from the structure of this 4-and-4 release. But yeah, this was a pretty compelling, things coming to a head scenario. And obviously, Wednesday is not going to die, but, leaving her off in such a perilous moment is a pretty solid cliffhanger, for at least a bit of an act break here.
Sure.
So yeah, I would say the 4th one's definitely the strongest one. And yeah, overall, I would say I'm definitely still having fun and enjoying being in the world of Netflix Wednesday. But yeah, I have some mixed feelings about the overall experience also.
What would you say has been your favorite? What's the new thing that they have introduced, or plot line, or whatever character that you might find to be the best part of this so far?
That's a great question. There are a lot of new things I'm intrigued about. I'm really enjoying the new ensemble players, most certainly. Things have been kind of... I'm not honestly sure at the moment, because part of it feels like I need to see what the totality of certain things is, and they are sort of introducing and then dealing with things in a different manner than I would have expected, for sure. I thought it was a really nice splash of color, though, when Grandmama finally shows up. And I hate myself for not remembering who's playing her, but just the few moments she was on screen were really electric. She crackled the second she showed up. And even though I would also agree, the sort of inter-family drama is an interesting choice that sometimes works for me, and sometimes I have questions about, her being less of the sort of, she's just kooky grandma, and more sort of okay, she's a power player of the Addams family, sort of is interesting, and she brought a lot of fun flavor to the character in this introductory fashion, and it brought some flavors out of Wednesday that I had been missing a little bit, also having her around, which was nice. So I think she left certainly an impression.
What about you, Aaron? What would you say is your what episode was your favorite of these?
I think 4, because we are finally getting into the groove of what this mystery was, and it seems like some of those things that were set up in the beginning half of the season have been sort of resolved. So I'm very curious where the second half goes. We found out who the stalker was, found out who the Raven girl was. You still don't know what happens to Enid, but yeah, I think overall it's been a mixed bag, but I'm still enjoying the characters. I still like Wednesday, who's obviously the title character. They write her really well, and Jenna Ortega finds ways to keep this character interesting, and the way she just delivers her dialogue is always captivating. She's the best part of the show for me still. I like the new character, the soccer character. She's fun. I think that she brings a fun new dynamic to the team.
Of course. Yeah, I thought she was great. I would agree. She's probably my favorite addition.
Unexpected. They revealed her pretty early, but I like the fact that for something that was teased at the end of last season, they found a way to incorporate her into the plot and into this new team, and she's a lovely new addition. But yeah, I think because this episode, for as many things that are going on, was a little bit more focused, I like the fact that Fester was kind of more front and center of this episode. I've been missing his energy throughout the season. And yeah, the family drama stuff is interesting, where they had some of that in season 1 with, Wednesday not wanting to be like her mom and exploring their relationship, and we're exploring new accents of that this season. And it's kind of weird how everybody has their own sort of subplot going on in the Addams family, except for Gomez. He's just kind of there. I don't know. I wish he was more involved directly as far as having something important to do. But yeah, I'm enjoying the season. I'm very curious as to see where they go going forward. I don't think the mystery up to this point has been it's not been boring, but it hasn't like captivated me at the edge of my seat. But I think this new development of, these are actually all patients, that this, this plot that she's trying to uncover, this mystery she's trying to uncover is, people that have all been experimented on. Okay, like where do we go from there? So yeah, and they found a way to bring Tyler back, and I'm very curious to see where he goes going forward. Yeah, man.
What about you?
I mean, I've said it a few times while we were watching it that 1 and 4 were easily my favorite ones. I think 2 and 3 were. It's weird, like that so much like got revealed and resolved, and people died in 4. Mm-hmm. And yet I feel like 2 and 3 kind of stretched out a little bit when it's like, it's only 4 episodes, so, but it feels like it kind of stretched out to get to this really captivating plot development point. Because we're cutting around a lot, and I'm totally blanking on everyone's name right now. I'm blanking on literally everyone's name. Siren Girl, Steve Buscemi,
Bianca, Principal Dort.
Yeah, because there's a lot of different plot lines. Let's see if we can like recapture some of them. Right, we got Stalker Girl. We have
we got Enid and her triangle of boys.
Bruno. We have Morticia. We have the thing with the psych powers and the book and the family drama there. We got B-Boy and Bugsley with a zombie.
Yeah.
Then we have Siren's mom. Then we got
thing with all the campers.
All the campers, yeah. Then we got Willow Hill. Everything at Willow Hill is going on. There's so many different plot lines happening, and the first season was kind of perfectly constructed. This is not a case. This is just like I'd be using season 1 as a comparison, not to be like, here's what season 1 did so great. And I mean, sometimes it is that feeling of like, this is what season 1 did so great. And other times it's just like the perfect thing to compare it to because the sequel season is like you're watching it strictly through Wednesday's point of view, barely cutting away from her point of view when you're watching that show. And it's sending her, and the plot narrative is also rooted in her character arc of someone who just refuses to let people in and keep them at a distance. Here, I'm like, I'm not really sure what her character arc is being set up to be. It doesn't really seem like it's really a thing here, like she accepts the fact that she accepts that she can have some respect and fame from people. Like, I'm not really sure what they're setting up here. Maybe it's about Resolute with the mom. And the Addams Family drama stuff that's been like such a mixed bag for me because a lot of the plot lines without Wednesday, I don't find that interesting. Like Enid, I don't find particularly interested in anymore. I don't.
Yeah.
I feel like they don't really know what to do with her, and they're trying to make it seem like that's part of the point of like her Wednesday pushing her away. But I'm like, I don't really feel like that's even a plot of Wednesday really pushing her away.
It really seems like you had an opportunity to actively push her away. It just seems like circumstantial.
Yeah, exactly. And then they're like, it seems like manufactured drama. Like, she's trying to make it more of that relatable thing with when teenagers are moving on and stuff. So I get it. I understand the intention. I just don't really feel much for it. Maybe if I was a younger girl or something, or a woman now, I might appreciate it more or something, or go back to my childhood as a boy and try to revolve. But I'm just not really feeling anything for that right now. But the Addams Family drama, I think, is a little tonally conflicting because they try to have like the Addams Family quote unquote macabre humor, but then they're trying to make it like a melodramatic soap opera a lot of the time with them. So then that macabre humor doesn't feel sincere. It feels like they're doing it because they have to do it. Whereas opposed to like Fester, that feels sincere. Fester feels like a natural part. Even Grandmama, that feels sincere. But a lot of the stuff with Morticia in particular, like I buy it more when it is going more dramatic and serious. But do I really care about the drama? Not really. Do I believe it more than when they're doing their like Gomez, Morticia romantic stuff? Not really. Their sexuality chemistry, I never really bought it in the first season. That was even before I watched Addams Family movies, and then even now more so, I'm like, I just really don't feel the chemistry here, and there's parts of that where I'm like, I could see what they're trying to do, like amplify more of that riff, but I actually felt like keeping them less involved made Wednesday season 1 stronger, and now they're way more involved, and I feel like it kind of weighs down the experience. And note, they're not as much in this 4th episode, you know, and this was like a much more exciting episode and more propulsive, and I am finding this season kind of at odds with itself, where they want to be a little bit more Addams Family vibe, not just the characters, but like the vibe of Addams Family. Like episode 2 and 3 really seem to be going for that more, that quirkiness. Whereas that's part of the charm of Wednesday season 1 is like, while it's in the Addams Family world, when you take the Addams Family out and you just put Wednesday in Wednesday's world, the mystery, the murder, the horror, all of that is really felt, and that's why 4 excels, because 4 is pretty much the spotlight of why Wednesday season 1 works so well. And 1 encapsulates a lot of that too for the setup, 4 for the payoff of it. That's like my general thoughts on it, you know? Like, yes, is it fun? I was a little bit worried that I wasn't going to like it when like 2 was kind of whatever, and 3 was really the one I liked the absolute least. I wasn't even like having fun with the game, you know? The game just seemed like perfunctory, like they have to do it. And then when leader of Anthony Michael Hall died, and like the fact that there was like no real reaction or response to this, I'm like, this is like that. That was like the biggest telling point to me of where the odds of trying to be Addams Family vibe fun is conflicting with the world that was set up in Wednesday season 1. You know,
I think there's a bit of a tightrope that they've found themselves on in doing this show, and especially in this 2nd season, because they're in a place where they're no longer abnormal. They're normal in this fishbowl of abnormal people. And I feel like oftentimes I find myself, you know, like the fun of the Addams Family is, yes, is that they delight in all these ghastly things. And they have that in the dialogue, but I don't buy it a ton in the performances, except from like Luis Guzman.
Sometimes.
And it's like, I really like watching them do these characters. I like the fun of beholding the show and its world even still. But there is something, and it is apparent for me in Wednesday also, and especially because this is a bit more spread out. Like, I guess in the 1st season, it makes a little bit more sense that her presence in this season feels a little bit clockwork to me, in the sense that like I can suss the rhythm of her dialogue and where they're going to have her quote something, and she's like such a sourpuss.
You can anticipate the joke too a lot of the time.
You can anticipate the joke. It's verging. It's not quite there. It verges on that sort of like too cool, hot topic kind of thing. And again, Grant, that's part of it. Doesn't feel outlandish for a character like Wednesday, but I found myself here at times less effortlessly enjoying Wednesday because she is kind of, I don't know, there's an element of that devilish delight that is kind of missing for me for her and in the show in general, because again, we're in a place where their delight in the, you know, ghastly isn't, again, out of place or abnormal, so you got to kind of work harder to make them stand out or make them quirky. And the characterization, especially from like Morticia, again, I like in isolation the performance, but having there be a more dramatic Addams Family and having them care in a different way about so many things kind of messes for me a bit with the purity of like the heightened nature of who they are.
Definitely.
And the cartoon, like Gomez always at least feels like he's in a comic strip, and that's fine with me. I kind of like that. But yeah, there's a weird like, okay, I get it, you're this macabre family, but like seems like some shit actually just upsets you.
Yeah.
Whereas I didn't really feel like that's a kind of core character element before.
I would agree with that.
Yeah, I feel like this season just has a lot going on, where it makes, because you want to care about your characters, but you also want to be engaged in the mystery and the plot in of itself. And I feel like there's so much going on, it makes it a little harder. Like even speaking to Wednesday and Enid's relationship, right? I don't like the stuff they have going on with Enid, because I'm like, oh, was it Gorgon? That was called
Ajax.
I felt like their relationship was cool in the first season. I felt like
loved it.
Yeah, and the reasoning for it, like, oh, I just grew apart, and like, oh, I didn't really like myself, but now that I found myself, like, I don't really want to mess with you anymore. I'll just go with this other hot guy. I was like, it just feels really shallow to me, and the fact that we have that going on, well, Wednesday's motivation is to save her friend, but not really exploring their relationship at all, just keeping her separate. You don't really buy it, because I don't really buy the fact that she cares about this girl, because she's more focused on the job than her relationship with her friend. And maybe, it's not about the melodrama of their relationship, but I just feel like there's a lot of different directions that's being pulled in. Plus, we keep talking about the family stuff, and I like the expansion of the lore in the family, but the other part of it's like, okay, we keep mentioning the sister, but we have yet to pay off the sister thing, and it seems like that's something that's going to come. If it doesn't in the second half, that's kind of wild. But yeah, I feel like that's where most of the drama is taking place with Wednesday and her mom, because Pugsley's stuff isn't necessarily drama. It just seems like another plot thing that they had to have them involved in to set up. And now that that's gone, they kind of put them to the side. Like literally had the siren girl say like, hey, stay here. We don't need you in this episode. Bianca.
Yeah, that's her name, yeah.
Yeah, and then I felt like the stuff with the mom just doesn't really seem that interesting as well, and it seems like they're going to set that up more in the second half of the season, because she has, the stuff with Steve Buscemi and her being manipulated, and then she has wanted to protect her mom, but neither of them really feel interesting or satisfying.
Yeah.
And
that's the thing, is a lot of the uninteresting stuff is kind of like season one's not perfect, but there's a lot of the enjoyability of it outweighs a lot of the things that are maybe not the best. And here I'm like, the stuff that's not really working really is shining a light, And so much so that we feel like we have to like talk about it, and we haven't even talked about. I'm aware that there's like a lot of good stuff to talk about that we will dive into. But yeah, like we're getting some of this out of the way.
Yeah, and I think the combination of having new characters and having the Addams family and pushing out the old characters and making them less interesting, I think is hurting the show more so than it's helping it. Because they wrote Zeke out of the show, and he was great in season one. His name was Ezekiel? Xavier, my bad, Xavier. Yeah. The artist.
Well, they had like a personal life thing.
Oh, did he really?
It was announced like it was like shortly after Wednesday. I even forgot what it is, but shortly after Wednesday season one. They immediately said like he's not gonna be back for season 2.
Oh shoot! Okay,
because of like some bullshit he did. I don't remember, but it was apparently really
misconduct.
Bad. Oh no! They should have recast him then.
I think that would have been A-okay, honestly.
Yeah,
I think it would have been totally fine.
He's a type you could find.
Yeah, I think that
no shade, but also you could find a guy to match this role.
You totally could have recast him, and I wonder if that did affect a little bit of their story that they set up, because it's some interesting stuff that they did here. Like some stuff now from negatives to a little bit of mixed bag expectation. Like the thing that surprised me is how well Stalker Girl works, because the setup of season 2 was she has a stalker. Who's this stalker? We have this really strong opening in episode 1 of this season. And I like the setup, too, of like, oh, is this where we're taking the show so we can have multiple seasons? Like, she uses her psychic abilities and is hunting serial killers. Is this what we're going to do? And it seems like it was just kind of a one-off thing for the summer. I was kind of surprised Wednesday wasn't focused on who's stalking me. And then she waits to come back to school to be like, okay, now let's focus on my stalker. And then when they reveal who the stalker is versus letting it be like a big mystery reveal and letting it be your big villain, I was like, okay, that's... I was a little bit like, oh, that's not as cathartic or rewarding as I hoped it would be, but okay. What surprised me is how engaging she still is after that. So much so I prefer when she's on screen way more than when Enid's on screen. I like watching her interact with Wednesday, and the presence that she really does bring, and she's such a Tim Burton-like character that that's the part that really surprised me. It was like, this is kind of not as cool as I hoped it would be, but then suddenly I'm like, but this is working for me in a very different way than I ever anticipated it would work. So there's a bit of a subversion there. I mean, how did you feel when they finally revealed who the stalker was after episode 2?
I thought she was really fun, and the way they introduced her kind of reminded me of how Tim Burton used the treasure cat in Alice in Wonderland. And she has that look to her, and just the energy she brings, and they find clever and fun ways to utilize her, which makes her have value over the course of this show. And yeah, I like the development of her and Wednesday's relationship. Like, okay, like you insistent on being around, so I'll utilize you as somebody to help aid my efforts. But yeah, I think they have done really well with her, and I'm excited to see where things go with her and her relationship with Wednesday. And yeah, and I feel like maybe we need to find other ways to utilize Enid, because the stuff, her subplot, not really working, coupled with her and Wednesday not really having a lot of scenes together. It doesn't. I feel like the show is not succeeding if you don't have me invested in the fact that this girl might die. Like at this point, I'm like, all right, like she's not adding much value to the show right now anyway. So, let's get the other girl involved.
Yeah.
But yeah, John, how do you feel?
Well, yeah, and there's a certain thing of like there is a kind of cacophony of events happening that on the one hand I appreciate the chaos and the quirk of, and obviously like all the different places you get to go, the production values are pretty top notch, and like the expansion of what it's like to live in this world is lovely. But yeah, with that triangle, I would agree. Like, it was a nice surprise to, like, I'll take an early reveal and, it's like, okay, this takes care of some of the questions, but doesn't take care of all the questions. But yeah, I like that that's one element that actually kind of greases the wheels for what Wednesday is doing. And you do get some of that sort of vigor from Wednesday, even if she is delegating to her stalker character. Like that's a part of the season I enjoyed in both its pre-version and its post-version, partly because too there's a lot of stuff happening that I feel like Wednesday does not want to be involved with, nor has the patience for, and sometimes it leaves me feeling like she doesn't really want to be in her own show. And so which in not quite the way you want it to be. And so like, yeah, when she's working with her stalker and they're planning I want to remember that character's name, but when they're planning like the break-in and all that stuff, like that's stuff that also gets, the sort of momentum of the plot and your lead character aligned in a way that then harmonizes and I can further enjoy. And also I feel like, do we get any sort of invisible folk in the first?
No, I don't think so.
It's a cool expansion power.
Cool expansion. So, all right. So we got a few more things to go through here. John, Steve Buscemi, what do you think about him?
He's very fun, and I figured, replacing Weems, you would probably need some kind of opposite figure who seems real plucky and fun and not conniving, but secretly he is. I wonder if there's a deeper reveal with him, because this whole thing has left me wondering if they chose to split this in half going into the season, or if this was like a decision made arbitrarily by Netflix later. As it stands here, part of me imagines, well, we get the game with him and we just need him to be revealed. I wonder if there's something deeper. Who's to say? But I like Steve Buscemi a lot in roles like this, and I think he's really fun on shows like Miracle Workers, which are more episodic and allow him to be kind of wild and fun. And I think this is a nice tempered middle ground where I'm like, perfect, Steve Buscemi, you're a guy who belongs in a Tim Burton-ified universe, but also, like playing a presence who brings, even if it's disingenuous, a much-needed sort of burst of brightness often to the screen. And, I've enjoyed watching him. And even the weird effect on Christopher Lloyd at first kind of jarred me, but I thought that was like a neat little detail and a nice nod to the original movie, too. Just on the staff, like the whole school side, the ensemble they've introduced from the school. I very much enjoy watching Steve Buscemi. I very much enjoy watching Billie Piper, and enjoy watching whoever's name.
Yeah. I mean, we gotta. I'm gonna try to keep us focused here. So, Aaron, what did you think about Steve Buscemi?
I thought Steve Buscemi was fun. I always enjoy him when he's on screen. I think that he's a great actor. I like his power. I like his nefariousness and trying to manipulate people that are typically, ones to do the manipulating, or at least have the ability to. And yeah, I think that he's an interesting character, but I feel like he's not given enough time, especially in the latter two episodes, to really, build into whatever his plot is. And I'd like to see him, I don't know, be more relevant, because I feel like that's we want to utilize this actor and his abilities.
Could have made a whole episode out of the camp thing and really.
But overall he's cool. I'd like to see whatever plotline his plans are come to fruition, or see that more directly involved. But overall he's cool.
Yeah, I mean, well, season one has a very clear setup of like you have this one thing we're trying to figure out what it is, and then here it's like, oh, we got like 14 things we're trying to figure out who is what is what, and who is where and why. And so it's like we don't have a central, even though you don't know who the villain is in season one, you have an idea that you're looking out for one villain to unpack. Whereas, like, but that's the fun of what I thought with Steve Buscemi. He's kind of an inverse of what's that actress's name?
Gwendolyn Christie.
Gwendolyn Christie, yeah, because Gwendolyn Christie, you see Gwendolyn Christie, she comes across like she might be malevolent, but really she's not. And that's kind of the inverse with him. He comes across like a little bit affable and benevolent, but then, behind closed doors, he is very manipulative and deceitful and conniving and clearly working for or answering to someone higher or whatever. But I love the energy that he brings, and especially for like a guy who has such a distinct look, to be draped in all that kind of hair and makeup, somehow look natural in it. I'm used to seeing him like a lot of Adam Sandler movies where it doesn't look natural, and I thought it looked very, very natural. I think a character mystery that I'm very compelled by, not just because I'm sure there's what's the word for it? I don't know, favoritism to the fact that it's Billie Piper. But even if I didn't know Billie Piper, I'd like to think that I would be really drawn to whoever and whatever this person really actually is, because there's something super interesting that she's doing where you're like, you're like one of those professors at Hogwarts. Like, should I be suspicious of you, or are you just like weird? And do you mean well? Or are you supposed to be like a red herring where we're supposed to think you're something more, but you're really not? I really like what Billie Piper's doing. I mean, we all like Billie Piper. I mean, how do you feel with her?
Yeah, it was a joy to watch her, and she embodies the role incredibly well. And I'm curious. Yeah, I just want more, like in a good way. You even want more. And I love that she's a musically inclined character. Great American accent.
Yeah. What about you, man?
Yeah, no, I've liked her for a long time. My introduction to her was Doctor Who, and yeah, it's interesting seeing her play a character with an American accent. I had no idea she was going to be in the show like yourself, and I just want to see more of her. I don't know. The show has a lot of fun little bits in it, but I feel like in its unfocusedness, it doesn't allow us to really dive into some of these other side characters. And I just want to know what she's about, because I'm like, you don't cast Billie Piper to just be a musical teacher, so she has to have some sort of major relevance to the plot. And I'm just excited to see whatever that is.
Well, I mean, we're only 4 episodes in out of an 8-episode season, so there's like part 2's coming out in like a couple of weeks. So I'm not like, it's not like Squid Game where you like gotta wait a year for this shit. Like it's a reasonable time to wait for a part 2, I suppose. Yeah. So I'm like, this is where I'm stopping part 4, and then we'll pick up episode 5 later on. But there's another new character with Thandiwe Newton. That was a pleasant surprise for her to come into the fold here. I kind of wish they didn't kill her off, honestly, because I like the idea of like the doctor who loves like a bit of a Hugo Strange, who likes to experiment on the outcasts and stuff, and you wonder what her real intentions are. And I felt like you really could have played around and kept that character around a lot longer. And I was more like bummed when she died, of like, oh man, I really thought there was like a lot to contribute, that we could have done more. I didn't feel like her time was done yet. So I was bummed, and Thandiwe is such a great underrated actress that it really did bum me out when she died. And I love everything they were setting up for her, because they're like, is she bad? Is she good? I don't really know. And then they killed her off, and I'm like, oh shit. Well, I got my answer, but damn, I mean, how'd you feel about her?
Same. I think her presence, she's appeared in so many things. So when you see her, you're kind of have a number of things to maybe expect. And she brought a presence that, seems like it could be hiding something sinister, but also was very poised and very sort of clear-eyed amid all these other sort of wackier characters. And she was just another presence on screen that really drew me in. And I loved watching. So I am bummed, because it did seem, like a rich vein that we now, unless some supernatural stuff happens, we won't get to explore, and another great talent we won't get to watch further. But I'm glad she was here.
Yeah. Are you a fan of Thandiwe Newton? You know her from much?
Yeah. She was in, I think, the second Mission Impossible, right?
That's all she's done. That's all she's done.
The best one.
Yeah, I know. But then I watched her when I was watching Westworld.
Yeah,
I know she was prominent in that one. But I think she's a fun actress, and she's really great and pretty diverse. I wish I would have utilized her more, and I feel like you cast somebody like her, put her in a medical facility, because you this is a mystery show, so like, okay, you don't cast someone like that for no reason. Then, she did have some semblance of relevance in the plot, but I do feel your sentiment of being a little disappointed of her not being utilized more.
Yeah.
And maybe part of that suspicion of, we feel like she should be more relevant is because we know this actress and like the fact that she has a prominent career. So yeah, I don't know. I wonder now, knowing if I knew then what I know now, if her inclusion plays as well, knowing that she's gonna die, or if it just feels like, oh, okay, she's just another cog in the machine of whatever this plot unfolds. And who knows, maybe in death, she knew some information that's going to become relevant in the second half. So, yeah, yeah, that's how I feel about her.
I mean, a big character here is Slurpee. We should do a shirt, Slurpee with a Slurpee. What did you? How'd you feel with? I mean, I have a lot of thoughts on Slurpee. What did you think about Slurpee?
I like the introduction of his story with the stop motion, and that was a very Tim Burton thing to do.
So cool to do, yeah.
Yeah, it was very fun, and I'm curious to know where they go with it. It seems like they introduced him via Pugsley, and then he broke out and ate the dude's brain, and I guess somehow rechained himself, and they were none the wiser, and then brought him on vacation. And yeah, I just want to see where they go with him. It seems like a fun concept and a fun design to have a zombie in a show. And I don't know, I wish they utilized him a bit more. And it seems like something interesting is about to come out of him in the second half, because like, hello, old friend. So maybe he's going to be the big bad of the second half of the season.
That's kind of what I'm feeling.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I'm feeling. I mean, they set him up in the first episode with a very distinguished backstory.
Right.
And I would expect that's why they were like killing off people and shit to get some of that out of the way. But yeah, man, how'd you feel with Slurpee? I mean, it's kind of a really traditional Reanimator thing where they bring back, and then the more you consume, the more you become more human again. But what'd you think?
I think it's a really fun motif. I really like the components of it in isolation. I think the way they introduce him in the first episode makes it feel like, oh my God, this is going to be a huge overarching part of the show, and this vibe that comes with the animated sequence is going to be very permeating. It's not, but it does give away, or so far anyway, it's not, but it does give way to a thing that I think is really fun in isolation, which is Pugsley and his butt in Eugene. They feel like they're in a comic strip too, and I also like that Slurp is like this sort of chaotic detail that seems kind of fun and innocuous, is not quite in the background, and then also collides with the main plot sometimes to further the chaos. I think in a more focused storm of chaos that would sing a little louder. In this current iteration, it feels maybe a bit random or just like a thing to do at times. But in isolation, I think it's really charming.
I feel like it's going to amount to something. I think what bothers me about the plot, because I love the makeup on it. The makeup is awesome. The blend of CGI is great. Whenever he's on screen, it's very enjoyable to watch. Like, it's captivating. Like, don't get me wrong. Whenever he's on screen, I'm into it. The part that kind of disappoints me with the plot line is how Wednesday doesn't seem at all interested in it.
Yeah, I know.
And that's kind of like the bigger problem with a lot of what I think has been happening with season 2 is there's a lot of plot lines that seem like they're not either going to be of interest to Wednesday or they'd have nothing to do with Wednesday. And so hence that loses a momentum and propulsion and tension when that is your main character, where you need to have a lot of that circulating around.
They bothered to bring him to school. I think he and Wednesday should have some kind of rapport.
Especially when Pugsley has it in the coffin and Wednesday's just kind of like dismissive about the whole thing. And then even when it's in the same room with Fester, that was a little bit...
I just find it odd that Eugene hasn't said anything to Wednesday when they're supposed to be the ones that are really good friends.
Yeah.
I mean, they had that whole thing where Eugene was like dismissive, and I was like, I don't know what the hell, why Eugene's being such a dick to Pugsley, but whatever, I'll roll with it. And it seems like you can feel the writer's room a little bit on stuff of like, well, we need to do something with them here. We need to do something with them here. Let's put Pugsley here. Let's put Eugene here. But it doesn't really have like emotional heft a lot of the time.
Wednesday and Pugsley get into trouble together. They do enjoy just in the canon of the characters, like doing messed up stuff together.
And you would think that Wednesday forgets that Pugsley's at the same school.
Yeah.
Or that Pugsley forgets he's at the same school where Wednesday's at, So a lot of that is kind of like if you're going to put Pugsley in there, do something where it's like, oh, well, let's fucking utilize this then. But she's still so in isolation and so independent. And she spends so much time in the first season looking after Eugene, her surrogate brother, but seems to have no interest in being around Pugsley, her actual brother. There's that, again, there's like some distraction stuff. But there were some returning characters that I thought Hunter would just be a cameo. I actually don't mind the trope of him coming back and then hulking out and being out on the loose. I don't want it to be like repetitive from season 1.
Sure.
But now that it's out in the open, everyone knows who it is, who he is. I'm bummed the dad died so early. Honestly, that was a real bummer to me.
I'm bummed they didn't care that his dad died. Like she told him, and then he was like, all right.
Yeah, he's just become full-blown bad guy. And I think there's like the nuance of him has just completely gone out the window. But I think they're trying to do that to like, I don't know, make him more scary or some shit, or show how the monster in him is. Because it's supposed to be Hyde, a play on Jekyll and Hyde. And there's no Jekyll anymore. It's just Hyde. Even when he's Jekyll, he's just Hyde now.
Yeah.
And that's the part that's missing, but he looks like he's having fun. Looks like he got ripped for it, But no, I thought those moments were actually kind of intense and scary when he's like killing Christina Ricci and shit. But Christina Ricci coming back.
Yeah.
What was that like for you?
It's very fun to watch. I'll always accept that. Oh, return with, she's got the chopped up hair and everything. And it's fun to watch her, go even more unhinged here. Bummed she's dead, but I'm glad that she's out here and after Yellow Jackets and everything. It's just cool that she's still prominent, and this is a nice in a season that seemed like it's poised to continue bringing more things in from the movies that Tim Burton did not direct. It's nice to still have her, and I hope that they find some wacky way to not have her be dead.
Yeah, as I love the shot where they pass each other in the hallway, but then she just dies. And I was like, oh man.
Yeah, I was disappointed that they killed her because obviously, twist of the last season that she was actually a bad guy and she was his master. So it kind of goes back to that thing of like, okay, now that we know who these people are, now that the cat's out of the bag, who are they on the other side of this? Let's actually explore that. But we have her in this one episode, or no, at the end of the last episode, then prominently in this episode. And yeah, it's kind of a waste. She's a great actress. Like, obviously, you guys have seen more stuff with her. I know she's very prominent in the 90s, but my main exposure to her is Yellow Jacket. She's fantastic in that show.
Yeah,
it's a great show.
I heard it's an amazing show. Yeah. So we've covered all that. I mean, Asylum Breakout is pretty generic, but I thought the whole thing that was kind of bothering me when by the time I got to 3, I was like, I'm just really not into the mystery. I'm not that intrigued by it. Like, yeah, I don't know what the answer is. I don't know what to figure out here. But just because I don't know the answer and I can't predict it doesn't mean it's particularly interesting. And then it finally became really interesting when Fester came into the picture. Like, man, Fred Armisen. I like Fred Armisen here even more than I did in season 1. Like, I thought he was really enjoyable in season 1. But I loved him here in this episode. His episode here was awesome, and every time he was there, it was cool, and to see him in his element and the psych ward, and then and even like befriending the guards and unpacking the mystery, hooking up with one of the people there. Like, I thought that was really fun, and going to the underground where all the other people are, like all that mystery coming where you think all these people are probably dead, and to find out they've just been caged there. And it's like they are doing like some cool. I feel like they have some mandate with Netflix now where they're trying to build out some universe. I think I think they're doing some type of universe building out thing that it's not just going to be only the Wednesday show now. I think they're doing some shit where we're gonna get like Nevermore expansion universe or some whatever. And then
a series of 11-minute episodes all about Thing.
Yeah.
That'd be fun.
And Thing as a character, I think even they're developed, like the way how people disregard him and use him as a servant, and the way how they provide. I think that's one of the best things the show Wednesday has done is make a Hand a true character, and they've even evolved that in this season more, where he's like kind of like depressed that no one's saying happy birthday to him and becoming a drunk, and people are realizing they kind of just take advantage of him. Like, all those qualities I think are so strong. But the 4th episode had the atmosphere, it had the pacing, it had the imagery, it had everything that I loved about season 1, and then more so like I'm like, oh, I'm feeling the horror, I'm feeling the suspense, I want to unpack the whole mystery behind it all. And my last thing is, I think the use of, even in 2 and 3, when they do that thing where like the music is going, where someone's playing music or they're playing a song and they're cutting around to different characters, I think every time they're doing that, it's so well orchestrated. The last mystery, the last thing, the thing with the birds.
Thing with the birds.
Was it worthy to you? kind of.
It was all right. I was like, oh, okay, because I was like, yeah, and I thought it was gonna be the sister. I guess that didn't really make sense, but I thought it would have been fun. Also, that seems like it was the sister.
To clarify, I don't think Aaron is saying that he finds it disappointing because it's not the sister. I think the execution of it is just not that exciting.
Yeah, the
execution. When you find out who it is.
Yeah, I was like, oh, okay, because I don't know, maybe if it was somebody that was more relevant to the plot, it would have been cool. But like, oh, it's just a side character that we've seen here and there. So yeah, it didn't really do anything for me. And then now she's dead. So
this is a season full of excellent ingredients and like kind of a wildly variant payoff, because like Heather Matarazzo is a great actor for the role that they chose her in to hide in plain sight as someone who seems meek and kindly, and then who turns out to be a little unhinged. And she's been in tons of stuff where she's able to like really sink into, I feel like, those flavors. And here I was like, cool, great, excellent. All the ingredients are there. And as it stands, there's way too much else going on for us. Like, I feel like if we had like been spending more time like actually checking in with her and dealing with her than just a couple of scenes, then it would have like really hit like, oh damn, she was right there this whole time. Because then I feel like in this season you are kind of left with the math of like, okay, I know these prominent actors have been cast for these certain roles, so they have to amount to something more than they are. And she's perfectly poised to like kind of blend in there, and that kind of still works. But at the same time, yeah, I'm like, with a better fleshing of that, I would have been like sick, because such a cool thing for her to get to do.
Yeah, I'm surprised by how much it seemed like instead of like the problem with these part 1 and part 2s of these shows, especially with Netflix, is like oftentimes it feels like, oh, this is such a part 1, and they just kind of ended. And I think they were trying to avoid that problem and try to see part 1 actually feel like a season.
Mm-hmm.
But then you truncate a lot, and and then like a lot of these reveals and deaths and resolves. I'm like, there's something kind of cool to the fact that a lot of them happen in episode 4. I'm not saying like completely negate all of them or like push them to later. Like keep a good amount of them. But then there are other stuff like with that reveal there of like, it seems like we took care of an awful lot, and now we've set up a new people for part,
You brought it up, and I was sitting here going, okay, wait. Sort through all the different details. What happened there? Okay, yes, that's right. And I feel like, there's so many things happening that it's a bit of a mess.
But I'll wait to judge this whole season off of when we finish the season, similar to how I felt with Squid Game. You gotta have to wait. And so far, right now, I'm like, this doesn't feel like. I feel like undoubted. I'm already sold myself that like season 1 is going to be better for sure than season 2. It's just more the fluidity when you're comparing the first 4 episodes to these 4. But that I know me well enough to know that my opinion can totally change depending on how strong episodes 5 through 8 are. That's where I think we're all on the same page about that.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Yeah, I'm still excited to see him.
Sweet sauce, people. All right. I'm pretty sure we covered everything we needed to cover. Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Well done, gang. I can't think of any other stragglers right now.
Awesome sauce. Well, guys, we leave it to you. What did you think about Wednesday Season 2, Part 1? Did you find it satisfying? What are you finding disappointing? Do you think it's going to be better than Season 1? What do you like more of? What are your hopes for the next part? Leave your thoughts in the comments below. Appreciate you guys being here with us. Thanks again to Prepper once again for adding down these highlights. We'll talk with you soon, Reject Nation. Keep a lookout for the Wednesday Season 2, Part 2 upload on this guy's B-Day. Peace.